Hello. Now we're going to solve some circle word problems. The problem says we have a circular flower bed and is 20 meters in diameter, and it has a circular sidewalk around it that is 3 meters wide. Find the area of the sidewalk in square meters. Use 3.14 for pi. Round to the nearest whole number. Okay, so we're definitely going to use 3.14 for pi. And when we're all done, we're rounding our answer to a whole number. We also know that let me highlight this for you. Our circular flower bed has a diameter of 20 meters. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw myself a picture. Let me get a color that I like. Okay, I'm going to make the garden or the flower bed. There we go. And it says it has a 20-meter diameter. Remember, the diameter goes all the way across through the center. So we know this is 20 meters. And we know going around this flower bed now is a sidewalk. Don't mind my crazy circles. Oh, I don't like that. Let me go back and make this a little bit more even going around it. I don't like it. Always draw a picture. And again, the better you draw, here's where your art class comes in handy. Oh God, well, pretend that's a circle going around it. There's our sidewalk. Oh God, it looks awful. Okay, but we know our sidewalk is 3 meters wide. Again, picture is not drawn the best, but you get it. So first, I'm noticing that there is a big circle going around the whole thing. I want the area of this big circle, but I don't want the centerpiece. So I'm first going to find the area of the big circle. I'm going to find the area of the big circle. And I am going to subtract out the area of the small circle. Okay, so to find the area of the big circle, I need its radius, remember. And we're letting pi be 3.14. And this is my big circle. I put a little b there. So what is the radius of the big circle? Well, from here to here is 20, so here to here must be 10, plus 3 is 13. Therefore, my radius of my big circle is going to be 13. And the formula says I have to square it. So I'm going to use my calculator. I'm going to do 13 squared, and then I'm going to multiply that by 3.14. So I multiplied 13 times 13, and I got 169. And then 169 times 3.14 is 530.66 feet. Or sorry, not feet, meters squared. So that's the area of the big circle. Now I'm going to find the area of the small circle. So same thing, 3.14. And now what is my radius of the small circle? The diameter is 20. Therefore, my radius is half of that, which would be 10. 10 squared. Now I know that 10 squared is 100. So 3.14 times 100. Let me get the 100 there. Don't mind my handwriting on this thing. When I multiply 3.14 times 100, remember, when you're multiplying by 100, all you do is move the decimal point over 2 places. So I get 314 meters squared. So again, this is my big circle. This right here was my small circle. That's a little s for small. And now I said I need to subtract the big, take away the little. So I have to do 530.66 minus 314.00. I get 6. I get 6. I could use a calculator to do this too. I chose not to. Another 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. 216.66 meters squared. Now, don't forget to read those directions. It did say to round to the nearest whole number. So the 6 tells the 6 to go up. So my answer is 217 meters squared. And that's the area of just the sidewalk going around the garden. Our next problem states we have a circular plate, and our circular plate has a circumference of 16.3 inches. And we need to find the area of this plate. It tells me to use 3.14 for pi and round my answer to the nearest whole number when I'm done. So these are the important things. So again, the first thing I like to do when I see these fun word problems is draw myself a picture. So here we go. I have a circular plate, and I know its circumference is 16.3. Well, what is the circumference? I know this is the radius right here. I know if I go all the way across, that's the diameter. If you remember, the circumference goes around the plate. So we know the distance around the plate. So what we need to do, I'm going to write down that C equals 16.3. Now the formula for finding circumference is pi times diameter. So instead of circumference now, actually I'm going to write that first, times diameter. Instead of circumference, we're going to write that now as 16.3. And it's telling me it's equal to pi 3.14 times d. How do we get the d by itself? Well, since here we're multiplying d by 3.14, the opposite of multiplying is to divide by 3.14. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3.14, and I'm going to divide the other side by 3.14. I'm going to cross these out because they become 1. D is by itself. And then I'm going to use my calculator and do the division. When I do that, I get 5.19, and it does keep going. But it does say to round my answer to the nearest whole number. So therefore, 5.19 would round to the number 5. Next, now that I know that my diameter is 5, which is going all the way across, to find the area of my circle, I need the radius. Pi times the radius squared. So the radius would be half of the diameter, which would be 2.5, equals 3.14 times 2.5 squared. Remember, you do the squared first, or you do 2.2 times 2.2. Sorry, 2.5 times 2.5. And then you get 6.25 times 3.14 equals 19.625. But I'm going to round this to the nearest whole number. The 6 tells the 9 to go up, so it is 20 inches squared. The area of my plate is 20 inches squared. So to recap, if they give you the circumference and you're asked now to find the area, you have to first find the diameter. And to find the diameter, you take the circumference, you noticed, and divided it by 3.14 to get our diameter of 5. But the formula calls for radius when you're doing area of a circle. So I took my 5 and I cut it in half, and it became 2.5. 2.5 times 2.5 times 3.14 gave me this, which I rounded to 20 inches squared. Good luck.